Having worked with clutterholics and hoarders for over 20 years, I know there are certain characteristics that many of us have. And in this video, I'm going to talk about one specific common characteristic. It's that we find it easier to give than receive. Have you ever noticed that some people are natural givers, but when the tables turn and it's their turn to accept a helping hand, a compliment, or a little recognition, they suddenly get all awkward, deflect, or even downright uncomfortable? I'm probably describing you. You're probably the first person to help someone, but the second that person tries to say thank you or something nice about you, you brush it off as nothing. Turns out there are some pretty interesting reasons why giving can feel so much easier than receiving for many people. So here are 5 reasons why people prefer to give rather than receive. So first, control feels safer than vulnerability. When you're the giver, you're in charge, and the perfectionist in you likes that. You set the terms, you decide what to offer, and you get that little spark of satisfaction that comes with helping someone else. On the flip side, receiving, whether it's time, help, advice, or even a simple compliment, means letting your guard down and accepting that someone else is focusing the attention on you. For a lot of people, that can feel uncomfortable or even a bit scary. For example, perhaps you're the first to organise a social or charity event, a rota to help someone who's ill, visit a friend in hospital, introduce yourself to new neighbours, or offer help to anyone who needs it. But when you fall ill for a few days and your neighbour kindly offers to run errands and bring meals to your door, your instinct is to politely decline. You worry that you might be a bother or appear incapable. For you, giving comes naturally, but when it comes to letting someone else step in and return the favour, receiving feels unexpectedly vulnerable. The second reason why it feels so much easier to give than to receive is because of self-worth and merit issues. Some people struggle to believe they're worthy of praise, recognition, or even just a little support. Maybe they grew up in environments where compliments were rare, or they learned, rightly or wrongly, that their value comes from what they can do for others, not who they are. So, when someone tries to give them a compliment or offer help, it's at odds with their belief that they are not enough. For example, perhaps you're known for organising charity events, baking treats for neighbours, and always being ready with a listening ear. However, when someone acknowledges the difference you make to them and the community with a heartfelt compliment, publicly thanking you for your generosity and kindness, you instinctively wave it off, saying, "Oh, it's nothing really." Beneath the surface, you struggle to feel deserving of special recognition, finding it much easier to give than to be the centre of positive attention yourself. The third reason why it feels so much easier to give than to receive is because of the fear of indebtedness. Sometimes accepting help or support makes people feel like they're racking up an IOU. It can create a subtle sense of obligation. If I accept this, I'll have to return the favour, even though you would never consider your acts of kindness to them as an IOU. For some, especially those raised with a strong sense of self-reliance, or in families where help did turn into a conditional IOU for the future, the idea of owing anyone anything, even something as simple as a compliment, can be more trouble than it's worth. For example, you are the go-to person whenever somebody needs help moving house or preparing for a big event. When you sprain your ankle and your neighbour brings over a casserole, you insist you really didn't have to and immediately start thinking about how you can pay them back. The idea of being in debt, even in a small way, makes you uneasy. The fourth reason why it feels so much easier to give than to receive is because of social and cultural norms. Cultural and social backgrounds play a huge role in how people handle giving and receiving. In some families or communities, humility is highly valued, and drawing attention to oneself, even in a positive way, can seem boastful or selfish. Compliments might get shrugged off, and accepting help could be seen as a sign of weakness. This mindset gets rooted early in childhood and can be hard to shake. For example, you live or work in a community where humility is deeply valued, perhaps through your faith or your culture, and helping others is simply expected. Over the years, you've quietly supported neighbours, prepared meals for families in need, and volunteered behind the scenes, never seeking attention for your kindness. Yet when the community honours your birthday with heartfelt thanks and a bouquet, you feel uneasy and instinctively shift the focus away from yourself. Accepting praise makes you uncomfortable, as if you've broken an unwritten rule you've followed since childhood. For you, giving feels more natural, but receiving challenges the modesty that you've always carried. The fifth and final reason why it feels so much easier to give than to receive is because of habits and our identity. Some people have spent so long being the giver that it's not just a habit, it's become part of their identity. They are the reliable friend, the supportive co-worker, the parent who always puts their kids first. Accepting help or recognition feels like stepping out of a role they've played for years, and that can feel upsetting and unsettling, or even threatening to their sense of self. For example, you are the eldest in your family, and from a young age, you've taken care of your siblings, managing the household, and supported your parents. As an adult, you're the one everyone counts on. One day, your younger brother sends you a heartfelt message, thanking you for always being there. You don't know what to say, and you kind of wish he hadn't mentioned it. You don't want to be seen as someone who needs or deserves thanks. Your identity as a giver is so strong that receiving just doesn't feel right. Giving can feel a lot simpler, safer, and more comfortable than receiving. But here's the thing. Learning to accept isn't just good for you, it's good for your relationships too. When you receive, you give others the gift of the joy of giving. It means letting people in, showing a little vulnerability, and recognizing that you are worthy, just as you are. You can clear your clutter fast, or you can clear your clutter forever, but you can't clear your clutter forever fast. If you're ready to get the help and support you need to succeed, simply click on the link with this video to find out how I can help you get started now.